Really quick, I'm going to show you how to access your spare tire and your car jack in a 2014 Ford Explorer. First thing we got to do, if your third row is folded down like this, you got to pull it up to access the stuff here. So we just pull that up really quick. And now we've got access to the floor back here. Next thing you're going to do is just take off this little trim piece here. So if you look underneath, there are a couple knobs you got to turn, one on each side. Once you turn them, it just comes out. You can see the little fingers right there that go in. It just comes out. Once that trim piece is out, now we can pull off the cover back here. So basically this thing won't come out if you don't have that trim piece out. Shake it off and set it aside. And now you can see we have access to our spare tire. So underneath the spare tire is where the jack actually is. So you just have to unscrew this screw right here and pull it out, and then we'll go ahead and take the tire out. Once the tire's out, you can see where the jack is and how it goes in there. Take special note of how it goes in there, because sometimes it can be a little tricky getting it all lined up to put back in. But basically this thing is just, again, held on by this screw. Take that screw off, set it aside, and now you've got the full jack system here you can pull off. And then next we'll just pull it out of this rubber housing. It just pops off. Now that I have it off, the last thing I have to do to use this thing is just disconnect the handle from the actual jack. Easiest way to do this is just to spin your jack a little bit to lower it. This gives you a little more slack to pull the hooks off of this, the way it's hooked in there. And there you go. Now we got it all free. We can set up our jack to use. All right, so we're ready to put everything back together. So we'll do the same thing but in reverse. Just make sure your foam piece here is sitting on here correctly. So you've got the slot here that goes on that piece right there and sits on there. Next thing you're going to want to do is your jack is going to fit in here, and these arms are going to fit in the slot in the foam piece. But before you put it in there properly, you've got to get the torque arm here attached in here. So the way this is attached in here is there is a hole right here that this little hook goes into on one side, and then on the other side you've got this little hole in the bottom that is going to hook onto this little notch on this side, right? Put in this side first. So like I said, just get this hole right there and get it on there. So now you got one side on, and then you can see here it's not lined up quite yet. So you just have to adjust your jack out a little more until that notch is able to drop in just like that. And now that it's in, you can get your jack adjusted back the other way. So now you've got it on there tight. And of course, you'll get it to the right angle to slide into this foam bracket just right. Once you have it in there, you can use these little straps to tighten everything down. And then you'll take your silver piece here and you'll go through the top bar and the foam piece there, and that'll just screw back on until you're all tight. So now let's go ahead and grab the tire and throw that back in. And the tire obviously will go up with this part facing up. That way you can fit everything in underneath there. If you try to put it the other way, it won't fit properly. Then you got your plastic cap, put that back on, tighten it up. And now we're down to the final steps, just taking your cover, putting your cover back on. A reminder, you won't be able to get that cover in and out unless you have this plastic piece removed. Once my cover's back on, I can take my plastic piece, and you can see the little notches there. It just fits in on the back side there. And then we're just going to tighten it up with these screws here. All right, so we're all done, and now you can put your seat backs however you want them. And this wraps up our job. If you have any questions, let me know below. If this helped you out, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next project.